Hey everyone. I was like, I didn't even have time to adjust my camera. Okay, where's the game here? Let me get that on the screen. There we go. Okay. Welcome everyone. Did I even do everything here? Yes, I did. Okay. Hey Arlie. 안녕하세요 여러분. 안녕하세요. 오랜만이에요. Nice. Arlie's on her A game. Oh, hey Cameron. Welcome. Thanks for coming, guys. I think we already checked. We have to go back to Cheshire, right? This was where... Wait. Right? Yeah. Hold on. I think, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. We went to Cheshire. We talked with her. She hurt her foot. Went all the way back here. We took care of her. Then we decided to eavesdrop on these people. Oh my god. Did I skip too much? Oh no, I don't think so. Okay. No, we didn't skip anything. Okay. I don't remember the last thing we did, but it was somewhere around here. Let me check the sentence really quick. Pretty sure Cheryl probably posted it here. This is a sentence we are starting with. 이곳에서 뭔가 심상치 않은 일이 있었다는 것을 충분히 직접게 만들었다. Okay. 짐작해. That's the last sentence. Cool. Glad that she posted that in there. Did we get there? Okay, now that's for the conversation. Oh yeah, okay, I skipped it. Okay, so I need to go back. Sorry, guys. Let's go back again. I hate that. I just wish it lets you save the game at any point that you wanted. That's my only gripe with this game, is that it doesn't let... And there's no reason why it shouldn't. There's zero reason why it shouldn't let you. Even if they don't want people, like, you know, saving and then going back and undoing their choices, maybe they want that. In that case, they should make it so that... Okay, well, I know what we can skip now. Okay, skip to here. Okay, now I'm not going to skip here too far. Okay. Then they can just make it so you can only have one save game that you have to save over it. Okay, this was the sentence that we did this first time. Cool, because I saw another play Among Us. If it's in Korean, is it in Korean? I know nothing about the game. I've never played it. I just know it's got really bad artwork. But a lot of people seem to enjoy it. But yeah, I've never tried it before. I don't know if it's... Is it in Korean? Do Korean people play the game in Korean? How does it work? If you find out that for me, then I could give it a try. Anyway, so yeah, the reason, if you guys are wondering, the reason why I started so late today, let me just get my dictionary ready, is because I was working on... Every day I write 2 lessons. So I shouldn't say lessons. 2 of the episodes of the beginner course. I write two every single day. Sometimes it takes like 5 hours to write both of them. Sometimes it takes like 8 hours. Today is an example of when it took about 7 hours, over 6 hours or so to write both episodes. And that's because I was writing one of them and I finished really quick. The second one was about how to say to think. So obviously that's 생각하다. And we have already learned all of the tenses. So we know how to say, like, I thought it was, I thought it will, I thought it is. So I was thinking easy. So I wrote that and I'm like, you know what? There's plenty of time. I need to also fit in this lesson called kata, to think, as well. So I started putting that in. I suddenly realized, oh boy, called kata has different conjugation for past tense and future, and it's different between action verbs and descriptive verbs too. Fun! That means you have to learn 6 new forms. So I'm like quickly, like, it's like 4 o'clock now, and I'm like typing as fast as I can. Then I start realizing this is the largest chapter I've ever made for the video series. It was already on 15 pages and I hadn't even given any examples or conversation or anything. So that's around when I finished the lesson for the most part. I wrote a conversation, but I didn't finish the conversation. I was in the middle of writing the conversation and adding words. And then that's when I posted in the Discord saying, hey, I can do live streaming tonight, but it might be a bit late. Cheryl suggested splitting it into 2. I didn't think I could do that, but right after I said that, I went and checked one more time because I'm like, I really wish I could split it in two. That's what I wanted to originally, but it just wasn't working because everything's already filled. But I looked through my lessons. I realized, no, there was a lesson that I had left purposely half filled, that I only had one topic in the lesson that I could push into another lesson. I could take pieces of it and stick it into another lesson. So I put that in on purpose. I had a lesson in there that was kind of flexible, that it could be a full lesson as a break, or I could pack it tight. And so I decided I'll move it. So I took that out, moved it, and split the lesson into two. But then that means I need two conversations. So I had to quickly, or else I can't say I finished my work for today. I had to quickly make a new conversation for the first half. And then tomorrow, when I write two more lessons, I can finish this lesson I was doing today and do another lesson. It's gigantic. And I feel bad because in order to just say I think in Korean, you have to learn how to change every verb into an adjective, right? And if you're learning to change it into an adjective, well, why bother learning that if you're not going to learn what it means? And if you're going to learn what that means, well, now you can use the intermediate grammar forms of changing verbs into adjectives, which is actually very useful, but I didn't think I would be teaching. I never expected I would teach them how to change an action verb into an adjective in this ultra compact beginner series, but here we are. Okay. 이곳에서 뭔가 심상치 않은 일이 있었다는 것을 충분히 짐작해 만들었다. So in here, in this place, something made me come to realize, made me like, hold on. I think I should have looked at this. Yeah, made me think. Okay. That made me completely think enough, literally, that there was 있었다는 것, there was something that wasn't usual, something that was unusual, I believe. Yeah. So something in this place made me think that there's something unusual here. Something unusual happened, sorry. Okay. It can be translated to Korean? Ah, really? If it's already in Korean, I could play it, but I'm not really interested in playing non-Korean games on this channel since it's technically my Korean study. So I don't really want to play a game not in Korean unless it's already. But if they have a Korean version and if Korean people play it, then I could join a Korean server. That's fine. Or if it's in English but it's Korean people playing it, that's okay. Yeah, and then the other problem with this topic is that this isn't a regular lesson. These videos I'm doing are not regular lessons where I can just assume that, you know, they'll practice. We have lots of space for practice. These go very slow. These are supposed to be like someone could learn it for the very first time, not only understand how to do it, but why are they doing it? And so I had to write it very clearly. And that means I had to just go ahead and explain exactly what it means, which means I had to teach them the intermediate concepts that I didn't really want to teach them right now, but anyway, I guess the good news is we can use this to make much more complicated sentences in the future, but the bad news is it's much higher level than I was expecting. So anyway, 혹시 이게 최시리의 퇴마의 흔적일까? Could this possibly be something left over, some sort of remnants, or what's the word? There's a better word for 흔적, but it's something like left over. Evident, trace, tracks, traces, that's what I want, something left over. Could this be traces of the exorcism that Cheshiri was talking about? Because Cheshiri was saying she has to do an exorcism, so is this the traces of that? 나는 교무실을 멍하니 둘러봤다. I kind of just stared at nothing, just kind of like sat there, well, stood there, and looked around the 교무실, looked around the staff room. Okay, and you didn't miss anything, Alex. I was just ranting for like 10 minutes about why I'm late today. 찾았다. Found it. 빨간색 손가방. We did go here last time, but I kept going a little bit more. A red handbag. 저게 최시리가 말한 그건가? Is that the thing that 최시리 was talking about? Of course. 나는 손가방을 집어 들고 I picked it up and 가방 안을 살펴봤다. I looked inside of the bag. Okay, 최시리의 기억이 맞았다. 최시리's memory was correct. 303호라고 적혀진 열쇠가 그 안에 있었다. A key that was written, number 303, was inside of there. 다행히도 예상보다 싱겁게 끝났군. Fortunately, this all ended blandly than expected. So literally fortunately everything turned out a lot more boring than I was thinking it might. So I was worried that things would be really like dangerous, but it turned out to be more boring than I expected in a good way. 나는 다시 교무실을 둘러봤다. I looked again around the staff lounge. 기왕 여기까지 온 김에 since I'm here anyway, might as well 뭐라도 있나 살펴보는 게 어떨까? How about just looking to see what there is? 뭐가 있을 것 같진 않은데. Things like this. 있을 것 같다. So it's not just teaching like descriptive verb, but like even 있다 is like, oh my gosh. Well, actually 있다 is only an exception when it's in present tense. Then it's 있는. But anyway, this little or like for past tense or 는 for action verbs or conjugating. So I had to I think I did a good job. I think I did a really nice job explaining it. And yeah, I did end up splitting it into 2 lessons, which will help. But it's still gigantic topic, even split. It's still a lot to take in. I don't think there's going to be anything here though. 그렇게 중얼거리며 I was just kind of mumbling that to myself, and while I was doing that, 나는 교무실을 뒤지기 시작했다. I started searching around the staff lounge. Okay, this is where I look at the I went to here, we just didn't keep going. 교무실을 살펴봤지만 I looked around the staff lounge, but 눈에 띄는 건 없었다. There was nothing that caught my eye. 오래전 사람들이 떠나고 방치된 배교다. This is an abandoned school which has been neglected. People left it a long time ago. So it's a abandoned school that people left a long time ago and it's been neglected. So a neglected abandoned school. 사실 뭐 대단한 게 남아 있을 리가 없다. Well, in fact, there's really no reason why there would be something remarkable, something stands out, something noteworthy left over. 나는 한숨을 내쉬며, so I let out a sigh. 마지막으로 찌그러진 캐비넷에 손을 뻗었다, and then extended my arm out to the cabinet, the dented cabinet. And finally extended my arm out toward the dented cabinet. So reached out would probably be better. Reached out toward the dented cabinet. 캐비넷 문을 열어본다. I open up the cabinet door. 그리고 그 안에는, and then inside of there, 일기장? A journal? 초등학교 일기장인 건가? Is this a journal from a like an elementary school journal? Like, kids would keep journals or something. 나는 무심코 일기장을 주워 들었다. I just kind of whatever picked up the 일기장. Have you ever had dreams in Korean since learning the language? I have dreams in Korean sometimes. Not often, though. In my dreams, I think I don't really speak Korean any different in my dreams. I think I speak Korean the same as I do outside of my dreams. I dream more in Korean when I'm in Korea or something, or if I just met a bunch of Korean friends here or whatever. But it hasn't been much lately because I haven't gotten to go to Korea. I haven't really been able to meet many Korean people. I only met 2 Korean people just last week. We met at their house and we were both distancing and wearing masks. So, and those were people who don't even go outside. So it's like, I haven't met anyone else. Yeah, I don't think I really do very much. 일기장을 뒤적거렸다. I kind of flipped through the journal. 그날의 하루가 어린애다운 삐뚤삐뚤한 글씨로 적혀 있었고 선생님이 매일 검사한 흔적도 남아 있었다. So that day's, the stuff that happened that day, the 어린애다운, the childlike 삐뚤삐뚤한 글씨. I'm guessing that's like poorly written stuff, but I'm not exactly sure. 삐뚤삐뚤하다. Like chicken scratch. I don't know. I don't like when Naver doesn't have the English version. It has it has like French or something, at least in the app version. Être sinus I don't even know what that means. Torcidamente. What is Spanish word torcidamente? I don't know. Can we get some regular translations here, neighbor? Let me just check Peter, see if that's different. Staggering. Okay. Idiophone décrivant la manière de ne pas avoir une forme droite et d'être penché ou plié dans tous les sens. I don't understand. Actually, I don't really speak French very much. I can't even read it. Anyway, something that's not very well written. The rest of this is fine. So let me just write this down. What a minion would say. My French is not good. No. I did 6 years of French. But like, you know, that's just taking the classes, passing the classes, but not knowing what I'm saying. I can't introduce myself. I couldn't even say, like, I don't even remember how to say my name is. I can kind of understand a little bit though, because like in order to take the classes, we listen to a lot of French, but not speak. Okay, Peter. There we go. First sentence for today. Okay, so basically written in there was the childlike scribbles of that day, and the traces of the teacher having checked it out every single day were still remaining. So in there was like childlike scribbles and then the remnants of the teacher, the like teacher's marks of having checked it every day. Je m'appelle. That's right. Je m'appelle. That's how I say je m'appelle. And I always like emphasize it because I always thought that was funny. That's like the one reason I liked French is because if you say it with like the stereotypical Paris French accent, like the old style, it sounded funny, so I kind of like that. Je m'appelle Billy, ha ha ha, enchanté. And that's the extent of my French. So when I read it, I also kind of read it like that, just because that's the only way I enjoy it. Like they don't speak French at Paris Baguette. Yeah, that's true. They don't speak it. Someday, I like the clothes they wear in church. Yeah, their uniforms are kind of cool, like the white colors and everything. Yeah, they makes them look like stereotypical. I don't even know if it's stereotypical. Just the what you'd imagine a French baker would wear in like some upscale bakery or something. Parlez-vous coréen? Oui, oui. Okay. 나는 다시 일기장을 덮어 표지를 받았다. I was like, that makes no sense when I read. 표지를 보았다. Okay. I closed the journal and then looked at the board. Or not board. 표지, the thing written on the notebook. Yeah, the on the cover, that's what I wanted. Looked at the cover. 1979년이라고 적혀 있었다. On there was written 1979. Me amo. That's right. I can say me amo Billy. I can say that amount of Spanish. Korean texting vocabulary like ha ha ha. That's right. Yeah. Ha ha ha. 1979년이라. To think 1979 나보다 훨씬 나이 많은 사람의 일기장이었구나. That's not French anymore. I have to get it back to French. 나보다 훨씬 나이 많은 사람의 일기장. I should stop before someone who walks in here is actually French reports me to YouTube for something. I don't know. Okay. So it was a journal of someone, 일기장, 사람의 일기장, the journal of someone who was 나이 많은, a lot older, 훨씬, much older, 나보다, than me. So I guess this was a journal of someone who was much older than me. Florian. 그렇죠. 네, 맞아요. 그렇게 생각하니? I think so. 단순한 일기장임에도 불구하고 묘한 감정을 느끼게 된다. In spite of the fact that it's just a simple journal, it does kind of give me this strange feeling. Okay. Maybe that's my journal. Yes. 다시 캐비넷 문을 열었다. Again, I opened the cabinet door. So I opened the cabinet door again. 나는 일기장을 내려놓고 I put down the journal and 아무 일기장을 한 권 더 꺼내들었다. And then took out and picked up just one more whatever, just one more journal, any journal. Literally 아무 일기장, just any journal. So I picked up any other journal. 박근숙. The person's name is 박근숙. You can read it here. 합중국민학교. So that's the name of the school. 제 5학년. So this was the 5th year. So this is a 5th grader. Class 2. 9번. Number 9. I don't quite understand the part for the number on the end. I'm not sure what that indicated. 2번 would be the classroom though, number. 2번, 9번, maybe. No, it wouldn't be group. I don't know. I don't know much about Korean schools. Although we did play the couple games which had Korean school stuff. I still don't feel like I know all the stuff about it. 나는 일기장 주인의 이름을 읽으며 페이지를 넘겼다. So I read the name of the owner of the journal, and while reading it, I literally went over the pages. 1979년 2월 11일. So February 11th, 1979. Oh, it's the romance music, so maybe it's going to be a nice journal. 오늘 개학을 했다. Today school opened. They started school today. 이제 어머니가 말씀하셨던 무당집 딸 내미가 전학을 왔다. 딸 내미. Oh, I swear I've heard this. Oh, okay, that's right. It's just that's why I was like, it seems like it just means daughter, but there must be some difference. It's just a kind of a cute way of saying daughter. We should probably go though. I mean, the girl's waiting for us to come back with her keys. Is that right? That's it. That would be just a cute way. 전학. Oh, okay. Okay, so yesterday, the 무당집, so the fortune teller store, the daughter of the person who works at the fortune teller store, so that person's daughter, 전학 is 전 is move or transfer, so exchange, so transferred schools. 왔다, came here, so transferred here. The daughter who my mom had talked about yesterday, she transferred here. 이름은 최실이. Oh, what? What? This is from 1979. My goodness, is 최실이 really the actual 무당? I mean, is she actually not the 무당? Well, that would be 마녀. Is she the actual 마녀? No, this isn't Cheshiri's diary. This is someone else's diary. They wrote about Cheshiri. So it said she said her name was Cheshiri, but 머리카락도 할머니처럼 하얗고 앞머리도 부시시하고 부시시 I don't know that. 정말 거지꼴 같아서 애들이 개더러 못난이라고 불렀다. 부시시. I don't know 부시시 here. The rest is okay. 부시시. Where is that? It says 부스스. Okay, so let's look up 부스스. Never heard that either. Disheveled. So like unkept, kind of like unkept hair. Okay, so she said her name was Cheshiri, but her hair was like a grandmother's, white, so white like like some old lady, and her bangs, 앞머리, her bangs also were 부시시하고, like I said, unkept bangs, and 정말 거지꼴 같아서, and she looked kind of like a homeless person, like a, you know, like a street kid or whatever. 애들이 개더러, so all the kids called her 개더러 to her 못난이, like some ugly duckling. I'm not sure if that's the best way to translate. Yeah, ugly, an ugly person. So all the kids called her ugly, basically. Okay, well let's write down the 부시시. I've never heard that. Is that what Cheshiri looks like though? Does she have like white hair like a grandmother? Oops, typo. Bushi. I typed it wrong. I mean, wrote it wrong again. She. Okay. Bushishi. This is so long. 애들이 개더러 못난이. 고 불렀다. Okay, that's super long sentence. Wow. Okay. 최실이? 나는 일기장 표지를 다시 살펴봤다. I looked over again at the cover of the page. Let me write that down so I don't forget it again. (1979년) 그래, 이건 분명 1979년의 일기장인데, yes, I'm sure that this is a journal from 1979, though 우연히 이름이 같을 뿐일까? Could it just be a coincidence that their names are the same? Let's look at what she looks like. Where's that? Here we go. Yes. Look at that. Oh man, are they just all demons then? It totally describes her though. Like even like her bangs. Like 최실이는 이름이 흔한 이름은 아니지만 최실이 is not a common name, but 그렇다고 해서 절대 둘 이상 존재할 수 없는 이름 또한 아니니까. But, you know, just because of that, just because it's not that common though, that doesn't definitely mean that there cannot exist 존재할 수 없는 이름. It's not that it doesn't mean that it's a name that cannot exist over two, 둘 이상. So just because it's a strange name, but just still, that doesn't mean that there couldn't possibly exist more than two. Or two or more, I should say, 둘 이상, because it's two or more. 하지만 최실이라는 이름, but the name 최실이 무당과의 관련성, it's kind of got this relation with a 무당, you know, shaman, like a fortune teller, shaman fortune teller. 그리고 하얀 머리카락 and white hair. Yeah. 이게 정말 단순한 우연의 일치일까? Could this really just be a simple coincidence? Literally coincidental match? 최실이는 분명 마녀일 가능성을 가지고 있다. 최실이 definitely has the possibility of being a witch. 그렇다면, then if so, 마녀가 과거 존재했던 최실이라는 인간의 모습을 빌린 것은 아닐까? Then maybe the witch could just be borrowing, 빌린 것, could have just borrowed the appearance of a human with the name 최실이 who existed in the past. So then if so, then maybe the witch is just, as in 최실이 that we know. Maybe she's just borrowing the appearance of a human who existed in the past who was named 최실이. 뭔가 엄청난 곳을 봐버렸다는 생각에 thinking that I had seen something incredible, 나는 숨을 고르고 다시 일기장을 읽기 시작했다. I took a breath, right? Oops, if I spell it right. Yeah. I took a breath. I caught my breath. Took a breath. 못난이는 아버지랑 둘이서만 사니까 잘 놀아주라고 선생님이 말했다. So because the ugly girl lives 사니까 together with her father, just her father, 둘이서, the two of them. Because of that, 잘 놀아주라고 the teacher said, 말했다, 잘 놀아주라고. You guys should play with her. Make sure to play with her because she only lives just with her and her father. 그런데 못난이는 성격이 되게 더러워서 물어도 대답도 안 해주고 조금이라도 시비를 걸면 사나워진다. Vicious? 사납다, is that right? I think so. Yeah. She gets... But as for the ugly girl, 성격이 되게 더러워서, because her personality is really like bad, really literally really dirty. She's got like a gross personality. So even if you ask her something, 대답도 안 해주고, she doesn't even answer. And 조금이라도, even if you just kind of bother her, 시비를 걸면, just a little bit, she'll get like vicious, she'll get ferocious, like literally, as in probably better translation. She'll kind of get wild and angry. This is 최실이. I just live with my father. Small. Does that mean you are 최실이 too? We are all 최실이s on this blessed day. This is 최실이. 사나워진 못난이는 꼭 미친 게 같아서 무서웠다. The ugly girl who when she got mad, literally the became ferocious ugly girl. So the ugly girl who'd gotten mad, when she got mad, 꼭 미친 게 같아서, she was like some wild animal, literally wild dog. So it was scary. 무서웠다. I was scared of her because she was kind of like some wild dog whenever she got angry. 학교 끝나고 엄마한테 못난이 얘기를 했는데 after school finished, I talked about the ugly girl with my mom. So I talked to my mom about the ugly girl. But 엄마는 무당 집안은 부정 탄다며 걔랑 놀지 말라고 하셨다. 부정 타다. You'll have bad luck. So what my mom said after school, I talked with her about the ugly girl, but my mom said 하셨다. She said, don't 놀지 말라고, don't play with her, 최실이, because 무당 집안은, so a fortune teller's house is unlucky. So she's like, don't hang out with her because she's unlucky. I'm just gonna write down the end of that sentence. It's kind of sad. Like, we're learning that not only did she like live with her dad, only, I mean, that's not sad in itself, But not dissing you, Small. I mean, just that we're learning like she's lonely basically. She didn't have any friends, and she had a bad personality. No one liked her. And we're also possibly learning that this girl who we're getting close with now, who I was starting to think is like maybe the real human, might just be the witch. Okay, unlucky. There we go. 1979년 2월 20일. So another entry here, February 20th. 학교 끝나고 기준이와 집에 가다가 못난이를 봤다. So after school, I with Kijun, some kid named Kijun, 집에 가다가 while I was going home together with Kijun, 못난이를 봤다. I saw the ugly girl. Yeah, maybe she had a bad personality. You know, everyone has a bad personality for reasons. You know, bullies might be bullied at home. There's always some reason why people have, especially as kids, like, especially when you're talking about kids, like kids can just be a certain way because of their parents. You can kind of grow, you know, sometimes you can grow out of that. And if you have bad parents, you can still not act that way. But still for her, like in this context, we're learning it, they're still kids. So yeah, it's pretty sad. 오늘도 애들이 그 애에게 흙을 던지는 걸 봤고, today also I saw the kids throwing dirt at her. So I saw the other kids throwing dirt at her today too. And 기준이도 나도 같이 던졌다. And then also Kijun and I also together threw. So we all, and me and Kijun, we also threw dirt at her too. 평소처럼 못난이는 화를 내며 우리를 쫓아왔다. So just like usual, the ugly girl got angry and chased after us. It's so sad. 우리는 또 도망치면서 놀았다. And while we were running away, we were like kind of like playing while running away. So now it's March 5th. 오늘도 못난이 혼자서 집으로 갔다. This journal really has a lot about this girl. It's like all about the girl. Today also, the ugly girl went home by herself. 못난이는 나랑 집 방향이 같아서 계속 같이 걸어야 하는데. So the ugly girl, her house direction, 방향, is the same as mine. Because her house direction is, her house is in the same direction as mine, so we continually together have to walk. So we have to walk together a lot. We have to keep walking together. But 오늘은 나 혼자뿐이라서 흙을 던지지 못하고 조용히 뒤에서 걸어갔다. But as for today, I was only alone, so it was only me by myself today. So I couldn't throw dirt, as in throw dirt at her, and I quietly walked home, 걸어갔다, walked there, 뒤에서, from behind. So I quietly just walked behind her because I was alone. 그런데 못난이가 옆집 할머니를 도와주는 것을 봤다. But I saw the ugly girl helping our neighbor, an old lady who's our neighbor. So I saw her helping an old lady who lived next to us. 다리가 불편한 옆집 할머니가 시냇물을 건너시기 힘들어 하자. Okay, I was like, wait. 힘들어하자. 못난이가 도와준 것이다. So, but okay, I already read that. The grandmother's leg was 불편하다. So uncomfortable. Her leg kind of was in pain, but literally her leg was uncomfortable. So the neighbor old lady whose leg was in pain, she was crossing 건너다. She was crossing the like a little stream. So crossing it was 힘들어하다, was difficult for her. As soon as it was difficult for her, literally like, so as soon as she saw that it was difficult for her to cross the stream, the ugly girl helped her. 도와준 것이다. 옆집 할머니는 좋은 분이라서, because our next door old lady is a nice person, I also together 달려가 went running, I ran there, 도와드렸다, and helped her. So yeah, because she's a nice lady, the old lady, I also ran together and helped. 할머니가 우리 둘에게 고맙다고 찐 고구마를 주셨다. Oh, nice. So the old lady 고맙다고 said thank you to the both of us, and 찐 steamed koguma gave us a steamed koguma, which is really nice. You guys got it. You guys haven't lived until you've tried steamed. Well, it doesn't have to be steamed, but until you've had a nice, properly cooked koguma. And usually when people eat that, they'll eat it with some tea. Some people will have it with like a latte or some sort of hot drink. So you'll have it, not tea, sorry, not tea. Milk. That's what I want to say. Hot milk. But some people will have it with a latte. So you'll eat the koguma and you'll have that with some hot milk. Also, sometimes people will eat kimchi together with koguma, which I know sounds weird, but it goes together okay. It's just kind of like kimchi and potatoes. Or what you can do is after you steam it, you can slice down the middle and put in there butter and honey and cinnamon. Okay, following me? Butter, honey, and cinnamon. You mix it up kind of like a twice baked potato, and then you bake it. So it gets like the outside gets kind of like a little bit crispy and the inside's like steaming with all the honey and stuff, and then you can eat that too. It's good. 못난이는 나쁜 아이는 아닌 것 같다. I don't think the ugly girl is a 나쁜 아이, is a bad person, a bad kid. 1900. Okay, so now March 6th. 오늘도 애들이 혼자 집에 가는 못난이에게 흙을 던졌다. Today again, the kids threw dirt at the ugly girl who was going home by herself. 기준이도 던졌지만 기준 also threw it, but 나는 던지기 싫었다. But I didn't want 던지기, sorry. 나는 던지기 싫었다, but I didn't want to throw it. 애들이 이상하게 쳐다봤다. The kids kind of stared at me strangely. Or literally just stared strangely. So they're kind of like, staring at me. 기준이는 내가 던지지 않자 눈치를 보더니 따라 던지지 않았다. 기준 also, well, 기준, sorry, not also. 기준, as soon as I didn't throw it, so 기준 basically noticed that I wasn't throwing it. 눈치를 보다, so he noticed. As soon as I didn't throw it, he noticed, and then 따라, following me, in turn, he also didn't throw it. So Kijun noticed that I wasn't throwing it, and then he also decided, well, he also followed me and didn't throw any. These are hard to translate. There's sentences kind of hard to translate. 기준이가 내 뒤를 쫄쫄 따라오면서 졸졸 잇따라 부드럽게 흐르는 소리. Okay. I wish I had an English translation for this. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now I got the English dictionary I wanted. 따라다니는 모양. Okay, well that's helpful. Basically, 졸졸 just means like it has the feeling of someone following along. So followed along, like just saying followed me in, or versus followed along with me. So basically, 기준이 followed along behind. The more Korean you learn, the more Korean you'll learn that just doesn't really need to translate into English, or vice versa. Yeah, I mean, despite this game being I'll say the hardest Korean we've dealt with because it's like bookish, that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of regular words in here. It's, the Korean that I know is like 90% what people actually use when speaking. And even if you don't get every word, you can still understand everything that they're saying. But playing the game has kind of inspired me to get better at book style Korean. So anyway, so Kijun was just following along behind me. While following along behind me, 기분 나쁜 일 있냐고 자꾸 물어봤다. He kept asking me, 자꾸, continually kept asking me, if there's something bad, if there's something like bad that happened. 왠지 짜증나서 없다고 말하고, for some reason I was just frustrated and I said 없다고, I said that there's not. 나는 그냥 집에 왔다, and I just came home. Okay, now it's March 7th. 오늘은 못난이에게 말을 걸어보기로 했다. I decided to 말 걸다, to start talking with someone, like just to like walk up and start talking with someone. So I decided to talk to the ugly girl today. 기준이는 못난이가 또 화낼 거라고 말렸지만, so 기준 told me that the ugly girl will get mad again, and he told me don't. So he tried to stop me, so told me don't do it. 나는 못난이가 무섭지 않았다. But I wasn't afraid of the ugly girl. 못난이에게 집에 가서는 뭐 하냐고 물어봤는데, so I asked her, so after I went home, I asked the ugly girl, what is she gonna do? But 못난이는 평소처럼 사가지 없이 알려주기 싫다고 대답했다. But the ugly girl, just like always, 평소처럼, as always, 사가지 없이, like annoyingly, like unbelievably, it's probably a better translation for this. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Annoyingly, 알려주기 싫다고. She doesn't want to tell me. She said, so she replied, 대답했다. She replied, I don't want to tell you. 그래서 나도 화를 냈고, so I got mad too. And 우리는 결국 또 싸우고 말았다. And again, we ended up fighting again. 화나 죽겠는데, I was so angry, but 기준이가 오더니, and then 기준이 arrived, and 나에게 거보라면서 뭐라 했다. And he told me, see, I told you. 그게 더 화나서, and that made me more angry. 기준이에게 화풀이를 하고 말았다. And I ended up venting at him. Like, what's the word? You're releasing your anger, like. Taking it out on him. That's what I want. So I ended up taking it out on him. 나중에 사과해야겠다. I have to apologize later. Okay, March 14th. So this would be White Day, actually. But that doesn't really matter, because unless there's some boy that's going to give someone some chocolates or something. So 벌써 며칠째 못난이랑 같이 집에 가고 있다. It's already been several days since I have been going home together with the ugly girl. Why does this girl keep calling her 못난이? Why can't we just call her 채실이? 처음엔 못난이가 싫어하는 것 같았지만, in the beginning I thought that the ugly girl hated it, but 이젠 평범하게 말도 하고, now she'll talk normally, and 내 말에 대답도 잘 해준다. And she also replies well, or replies often to what I say. 이 모습을 본 애들은 나까지 이상하게 생각하는 것 같다. The kids who see her like this, literally the kids who see her appearance, who see this appearance, including myself, I think that they think it's strange. So I think that the kids who see this, including myself, the kids who saw this, her talking with me and answering, think it's a bit strange. 기준이는 나도 괴롭힘을 당할까봐 걱정되는 모양이다. Also, 기준, it appears that 기준 is worried, thinking that he's gonna get 나도 괴롭힘을 당할까봐. Oh no, he's worried because he thinks that I might get made fun of or teased or bothered too. So he's like, well, if she's talking with that girl, maybe Kijun's worried, like maybe the writer of this journal, maybe they're gonna get made fun of too. 기준이는 역시 남 눈치를 많이 본다. 기준, as expected, 기준 does think a lot about other people. He's always looking out for others. Night, Lauren. Sorry, I just didn't see your message until right now. Okay, 15th. 못난이랑 같이 집에 가던 중에 in the middle of while I was going home together with the ugly girl, 평소 못난이를 괴롭히던 병식이가 나한테까지 흙을 던졌다. So when I was going home as usual with the ugly girl, 병식, who normally bothers the ugly girl, threw dirt even at me. He also threw dirt at me. So 병식 always bothers the ugly girl, but today he also threw dirt at me. 이 모습을 보고 못난이가 화를 내며 seeing this, as in seeing this happen, the ugly girl got angry and wait, 조자? Is this a typo? I was like, yeah, it's a typo. Okay. It should be 쫓아 가더니, and she chased after him, and 병식이를 잡고 마구 때렸다. She caught him, and then just started beating him up. Okay. 못난이가 누군가를 때리는 건 처음 봤다. This was the first time I saw the ugly girl hitting someone. Although 맞은 병식이가 애같이 울자, so 병식, who was getting hit, started crying like a kid, like a baby. 나는 나도 모르게 웃어버렸다. And also I just started laughing. 기준이는 못난이에게 겁먹은 모양인지 눈도 마주치지 못했다. Of course. 기준 also, perhaps, maybe because he appeared to be afraid of the ugly girl, he didn't even make eye contact with her. He couldn't even make eye contact with her, maybe because he appeared to be afraid of her. I would. 그것도 엄청 웃겼다. That was also extremely funny. Okay. 일기는 여기서 끊겨 있었다. The journal was cut off from here. This is as far as it went. 나는 아직 남아있는 일기장 더미를 봤다. I looked at the pile of journals that was still left. 여기를 더 뒤지다 보면, if I'm gonna keep looking around here, then 1979년에 실종했던 최실이라는 사람에 대해 좀 더 알아낼 수 있을지도 모른다는 생각이 들었다. Then I got the feeling that maybe I'll be able to find out a little bit more about the person named 최실이 who went missing. Oh no, sorry, that's not went missing. Who was 실종? Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking 실종 because that's what we've been doing with the earlier part of the game. Who lived in 1979, right? Yeah. What the writer's name? Yeah, it was this other girl's name. Park-Gun-suk or Pak-suk. I don't know, something else like that. I don't know. It probably says it if we look at the history. Let's see. Park-Gun-suk. Yeah. Okay. 하지만 일기를 읽다 보니 어느새 시간이 꽤 흘려 있었고, but after reading the journal, I suddenly realized that a lot of time had gone by. Maybe all the demon girls went to school together? I don't know. 더 이상 늦으면 곤란하겠다는 판단에, thinking that I'm gonna be in trouble if it gets any later, 나는 일기장을 챙겨 폐교를 빠져나왔다. I took the journal and left the abandoned school. Okay, 박근숙. 나중에라도 이 인물을 조사할 필요가 있을 것 같다. I think maybe later there will be a need to investigate this person. I think we're gonna have to look this person up a little bit later. Okay.
엄청 늦었어.
엄청 늦었어. You're so late. 내 방에 들어서자마자 as soon as I entered my room, 최시리의 짜증 섞인 목소리가 들려왔다. I heard 최시리's voice, which was mixed with frustration. I was thinking like 90%. This must be right. Like this must be a oh wait, what's this? Yeah, I was thinking like 90% that Cheshiri would be the real person, but now I don't know. Now I'm like down to 40% because it totally described her. Ah, it's weird. I mean, in a normal situation, you wouldn't. Obviously, it's just another person named Cheshiri with common features. But in this game, no, it's like could be her. 일기장을 워낙 몰입해서 읽느라 몰입하다. Ah, hold on. I was getting so immersed in the journal. 이다만. Okay, let's go up to there. So it appears that quite a lot of time had passed because I was getting really immersed in the journal. But 그걸 최시리에게 말할 순 없었다. But I could not say that to 최시리. Of course, we can't let the girls know that we know one of them's a human or four of them are demons or anything. 미안. Sorry. 자, 여기. All right, here you go. 나는 빨간 손가방을 최시리에게 건네주었다. I gave the red handbag back to 최시리. Well, passed it to her. Right? Yeah. 키가 있음을 확인한 최시리는 So 이내 가방을 힘겹게 들어 올렸다. 힘겹게? Like with... Right? Yeah. Okay. So 최시리, who checked to make sure the key was there, then picked up, put on her the bag, kind of with difficulty. I'll say that. Because you know her leg's injured.
나 가볼게.
Okay. 그럼, well then, I will go. 잠깐. Wait up. Hold on. 짐 들어줄게. I'll carry your bag.
됐어.
Forget it. Why? 여전히 냉랭하군. Cold as usual. 간신히 좀 가까워졌나 싶더니만 I was thinking perhaps we had gotten a little bit closer. 간신히. Hold on. Barely. Yeah. I thought we'd barely just gotten a bit close, but 나는 머리를 긁으며 I scratched my head and 최시리를 따라 나섰다 and followed 최시리 out. 혼자 밖으로 나간 최시리는 최시리 who went outside by herself was 자신의 방 문을 열고 opened her room door and 가방을 직접 자신의 방으로 옮기려 한다 and tries to move the bag by herself into her room. 거참 쓸데없이 자존심 부리긴. My goodness, she's unnecessarily just trying to, show off her self, that. She's trying to I could do it myself. what's the word? Being prideful, proud, like trying to just be proud. There's no reason to do that. Because, you know, she's carrying it by herself, but we know she's injured. So why is she doing that? 나는 그런 채시리에게로 다가가 짐을 슬쩍 들어줬다. So I went to 채시리, who was doing that, and approached her and just picked up her bags for her. 나는 채시리의 짐이 방문을 통과하기 직전까지 잡아주고 있다가 조심스레 손을 놓았다. Okay, so I carefully... oh wait, no, it's there. 채시리's bags, I passed through the door of her room until right before I passed in front of her room, so right before I would enter her room, I picked them up for her and then carefully put them down. So I carefully lifted her bags just up until before I would enter her room. So like I'm not going in her place, I'm just putting it up there. 조심스레, carefully let go. Yeah, it's so weird. 붕대 아직 풀지 마. Don't take off the bandage yet. This is weird. This weird atmosphere now. Like, because we know it's possible that... I mean, we always thought it's possible she's a demon anyway, but now we have like some credible evidence that she really might just be the witch that we were told she could be. And I don't like it. I liked thinking 채시리 was a real human, but I don't know. This could just be like a red herring, or maybe this is like when you meet someone 3 times, you learn like about them a lot more like this. Okay. Whew. You know what's funny? You know what's funny, everyone? It still hasn't saved. This is from way back, and we were looking at like the side of the river, and we had that crime scene where the guy was dead and there was the boat from back there. 닫힌 문을 바라보다 나는 내 방으로 돌아왔다. So I was just kind of looking at the door that closed, staring at the door that had closed, and then I returned back to my room. Came back to my room. All right. 79년도의 채시리라. This is 채시리 from the 1979. So 아직은 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠다. I don't really know what's what. I don't really know what's going on. 하지만, but 뭔가 중요해 보이는 단서를 얻은 것 같다. I think that I've gotten something that looks to be an important clue. 박근숙이라는 이 일기장의 주인에 대해, about the owner of this journal, who is named 박근숙. 좀 더 알아봐야겠다. I gotta learn a little bit more about her. Glorious save. Save, glorious save. I can't sing anymore before YouTube flags this video. 아직 시간의 여유가 있다. I've still got some free time. 누구에게 가볼까? 일기장. Because 일기 itself is a journal. 장 would be some sort of... Hold on, let me think. It's not a book, is it? I'm going to guess book, but let's find out. Okay, let's look it up. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can search this so much faster on my laptop where I'm right now. I'm like trying to like copy this little tiny hanja from my phone. Can look it up right here. It's not that. 장부 책. Okay, it is a book. Yeah, it is a book. Okay, yeah, it's just a book. Okay, I was guessing book, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, it's another word for book. Yes, 장 can also be chapter. I believe that's different. 장 for chapter would be chapter, let's just say chapter 1. Let's see if I can check to find the hanja they use for that. Okay, now I have to just search 장 because it's not showing me that way. Chapter, no, chapter is different. I just didn't know what it looks like. Yeah, here we go. This is what chapter looks like. Yeah, 절 is verse, chapter is that's chapter. It's different than 일기장. Okay, who should we go to now? We have a lot of trust with Cheshiri. I'm like 40% sure. I still don't think Sonari is real. I think Sonari is a succubus. I think this girl's the what do we call it? The vampire. Right? Is that the vampire? What was it? Yeah, vampire. I think she's a vampire. I think she's a succubus. I think she is still Kangshi. I don't know about Hansei, so maybe you should go to Hansei. I think maybe, because I was thinking like Cheshiri or Hansei, and then maybe the vampire girl. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. 좋아, 한세이를 만나러 가자. Okay. This is your sentence, Cheryl. Cheryl, write down your sentence. It's not very hard, but I know I'll give you a little bit easier one today. Teasing one of my friends. Okay, cool. You got it. Okay. 폐가촌을 걸으며 한세이와의 관계에 대해 생각해 본다. And this is everyone in this sentence. Perfect. Perfect. Cheryl's a teenager, her. Well, she says she used to do like chat room moderation, so she's probably exposed to all of the online lingo. This is everyone else's sentence. 폐가촌을 걸으며 한세이와의 관계에 대해 생각해 본다. Cheryl, it's much easier because it's only got 2 grammar forms and you should know both of them. One of them you might not have learned very well yet, but you should have seen it before. And the other one you definitely know. And this is everyone else's sentence. Again, not a very difficult sentence, I think, but should be a nice, just a little bit of a challenge and something you guys can think about. Now, I will tell you guys, 폐가촌, because we've seen this word a lot. It's not really an important word to know. So I'm just going to tell you what it means. 폐 here is abandoned. We saw it with 폐교, so abandoned 교, like 학교, abandoned school. 폐가, 가 means house, as in 가족, like family or house, or like as you're in the house, everyone who's in the house. So abandoned house. 촌 is a village, like if you know the word 민속촌, like the folk village, or anything 촌 would be a village. So abandoned house village, or ghost town. Think of it like that. Okay, do you got this one? Don't worry, if you don't get it, I can always go back and copy it later on, so it's no problem. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 한세와 나의 표면적인 목표는 같다. The goal of me and Hansei is on the surface, it's the same, right? 표면적. That's what it means, right? Yeah. Like on the surface, the goal of me and Hansei is the same. 실종 사건을 파헤치고 이 종교에 대해 알아내는 것. Looking into the disappearing persons cases and finding out about this religion. Boss, what hanja is this? 집가. 네, 수고하셨습니다. I don't remember that meme, but I'm sure I posted some stuff like that from the hanja bot Twitter. I don't know if it's actually a bot, but yeah, the hanja Twitter that posts the random hanja. 그렇기 때문에 사실 신뢰 관계를 구축하는 게 어렵지 않다고 여겼다. 구축, I'm guessing that's something to get, but I don't know what it is. Building, okay, to build trust. So 그렇기 때문에, because of that, actually I thought that it's not going to be hard, or we better get a better translation. Yeah, I thought that it wouldn't be difficult to build a relationship of trust, to build trust with her, because our goals are the same anyway. But we talked with her once and she doesn't seem to trust us. She doesn't seem to like us, and we're kind of awkward around her. Okay. 하지만 정작 한세이는 나에게 정보를 다 털어놓지 않고 있다. 정작 right away? Oh, actually. Okay. Okay, I'll write that down. Technically, I couldn't think of the right word I was thinking. Okay. But actually, this is sentence 10. Okay. So, but actually, Hansei is not, or hasn't been, giving me all of the information. 이게 단순히 날 덜 신뢰하니까 그런 것이다라고 생각해 버릴 수도 있지만, of course, I could think of this as she basically simply just trusts me less. But 한편으로, but on the other hand, 애초에 털어놓을 정보가 없는 건 아닌가 하는 의문을 품게 만든다. It kind of makes me think, though, kind of gives me the question. There's another way for that. The thought. Okay, the doubt. That's what I want. Kind of gives me doubt that maybe what the reason is that in the first place she doesn't really have any information to give. So on the other hand, I'm thinking, though, maybe it kind of just gives. On the other hand, it kind of gave me some doubt as to whether she even has any information in the first place to give me. 그러니까 한세이가 인간이 아니라면, and so what I'm saying is, if she is, 한세이 is not a human, 자신의 모습을 적당히 지어내는 것 뿐이라면 그럴 가능성도 존재한다는 거다. So what I'm saying basically is that it's also possible that the possibility also exists that she is just only making up kind of a good enough appearance. So she's kind of just making this appearance that's good enough for her. If she's really not a human. So if she's not really a human, though, there is the possibility she's just kind of making up that, appearance of herself.
무슨 생각해요?
Oh, startled me. What are you thinking of? What are you thinking about? So what are you thinking? Wow.
뭘 그렇게 놀래요?
Why? Well, what are you so surprised at? 한세이는 날 잠시 바라보더니, 한세이 was looking at me for a little bit. She was looking at me for a moment, and then 이내 별 신경 쓰지 않고 자신의 가방을 열고 뭔가를 찾기 시작했다. So she was kind of looking at me for a bit, and then she just, right after that, without really worrying about anything, 별 is like a special or particular, 신경 쓰지 않고, she didn't really care, and just started to look for something in her bag. So she opened her bag and started to look for something. So she looked at me for a moment, and then right after she, without really caring, just started to look for something, opened her bag and started to look for something. 나는 가슴을 쓸어내리며 그런 한세이를 노려봤다. I kind of put... 쓸어... Okay, yeah. I'm kind of like this. So I kind of did this. I'm like calming down, and then looked, and then kind of stared at her. Okay. 좀 come on. 비밀이라도 놀라게 해서 미안하다. 괜찮느냐 정도는 말할 수 있는 거 아닌가? 빈말. Sorry, I was like, that made no sense as 비밀, secret. 빈말 is literally empty words. So even if come on, even if it's just like, even if it's just empty words, even if you don't mean it, I'm sorry for surprising you. Sorry for startling you. Are you okay? 정도. At least that much 말할 수 있는 거 아닌가? Can't you at least say something like, sorry for surprising you. Are you okay? Even if you don't mean it.
뭔가 정보는 좀 얻었어요?
Did you get some information? So did you get any information? 아니요, 아무것도. Okay, we're gonna just play for just a few more minutes, just 4 more minutes, and then we'll stop because it's almost time to get my kid to bed. No, nothing. 한세이에게 말하기 껄끄러운 정보들은 꽤 많이 얻었지만 껄끄럽다. I've seen this word before. Yeah, awkward. Okay. I've got some kind of uncomfortable. Let's look at this again. I'll just say difficult things. I've got some kind of, difficult information, some like uncomfortable information that I could tell her, but actually, let me retranslate this again because it's 말하기. So I've got some information that I am uncomfortable telling her. That's better. That makes more sense. 꽤 많이, quite a lot, actually. So yeah, actually, I did find out a lot of information, but I'm kind of uncomfortable to share it with her. 솔직히 뭐부터 어떻게 접근해야 할지 갈피 잡기도 어려워요. 갈피. Okay. I knew 갈피, but this is 갈피 잡다. So it's different. To be at a loss. So actually, I'm kind of at a loss as to what I should start with. What I should start talking about. Oh, no, sorry. Not what I should start talking about, what I should approach. Yeah. How I should approach this. How I should approach it is what I'm saying. Like the whole problem of finding information. I'm actually kind of at a loss as to how I should even start approaching this. What I should start with. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we'll do one more sentence and then we're going to stop here. 우린 이 말에 대해 뭔가 캐보자는 정도만 합의했을 뿐 확실한 방향성도 안 정했잖아요. Okay. All we've done is there's got a couple words I have to look up. Yeah. All we've done is just kind of talked about. All we've done is like agreed that we need to look into stuff about this village, but we haven't really decided an actual direction to go in. Right? Is that 방향성? Yeah, direction to go in. Okay. So all we've really figured out is that we have to we have to dig in. All we've decided that we've talked about is that we need to look into something about this village, but we haven't really decided on a exact direction to go in. Hey, Cheryl, can you post this and actually tag it's not really a Nika sentence, but I want to give it to Nika. I think he'll be okay with it. It's not especially hard, but because it's long, it looks kind of difficult. And it'll mark our next place to start. Okay, and I will definitely get what's the new word in here? 방향성. Yeah. Okay. All right, that's enough for today. We got a lot done today though. We read that whole journal. I got today 13 sentences, which is cool. It's not too bad. Should be able to do that in an hour. Whew. You finished the everyone sentence. Nice. Good job. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. That was fun. Glad I still got to do some streaming, even though I know it was only an hour and a half today, or less than that today. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you again in a few days. 그럼, see you guys later.